Well, hi, everybody. This is Dear Mama Sal, and we are live on a Friday evening, which means it's time for us to talk about coping with life, and in particular, making things in the kitchen that don't cost a lot of money, but hopefully are very tasty. And of course, as all my regular viewers know, I am very delighted to say that in the last 4 months, I've lost 11 pounds, and I've done it by eating really great food, which is very important to me, but with portion control. In other words, what I did was I ate smart. And just to give you some sort of idea, I sort of have a routine of what I eat every day. It varies a little bit, but basically it's the same sort of thing. And then every now and then I have whatever I want. If I go out to eat, which I did this week, I had chicken strips and fries and thoroughly enjoyed them. And it was just like, and then I came home and had an ice cream, so, and still lost 11 pounds. So, something I'm doing is right, and I believe what it's all about is the portion control. So, tonight, what we're going to be doing is um, cooking with these little pastry shells. And these are not the mini ones, these are the regular ones. I just want to make sure that you can see that. These are about 2 inches across, whereas the mini ones are about 1 inch across. And what I'm going to do is that I know some of you like sweet things and some of you like savory, so we're going to do both. But what I want to show you is really, if you do this right, you can eat on a very, very limited budget. I was thinking, um, and this is, we're not going to do this tonight, but think about this. If you bought a can of soup like this, this is vegetable beef, and you filled up, a couple of dozen of these pastry shells with that. How this what cost you a couple of bucks? This cost you a couple of bucks, five maybe. I'm not quite sure, and that's why I'm stalling. I'm not 100% sure how much I paid for the pastry shells, but not very much. But you could make an awful lot of tasty, instant meals that you could keep in your fridge. If you've got a family of teenagers that always want a tasty snack, be a really good idea because it's got vegetables in it as well as other things. So just think about that. So for a very small amount of money, you can make a lot of food. And when you've got a teenager, filling up those legs, as you know, is very important. So this is what we're going to be working with. Before I start, I have a potato here. Jody, I undid the potato tower from the bottom down, or bottom up. No potatoes. It was a total fail, but wasn't it fun doing it? you know, and for those of you who don't know, over from January to now, I've been growing a potato tower vertically to see if I could grow potatoes inside during the winter. And this was the first year I've tried it, and the answer was it didn't work. All that was in there were the bits of potato I originally put in there. I didn't grow any new ones. So, not quite sure why. That requires investigation. But it was beginning to grow some really nice roots on the side. So, maybe it just would take a lot longer. Um, Thank you for applauding me, Jody. It was a fun experiment to do, and I'm sure we'll do another one. Ah, okay. And my tip for the day, a couple of tips for the day. For those people who are new, I like to do these. I think you all know that I try not to use paper towels. I rather use face cloths. Now, I had a lot of people say to me, Sal, you've got to be the only person I know that uses white face cloths. Well, actually, in my kitchen, I'm inclined to use blue ones, dark blue ones, because I managed to find a whole stack of them, and they're very good. But I also use these in my bathrooms and anywhere else in the house, right? White ones. And I don't mind telling you that some of these are probably over 10 years old. And the only time they go is when they start getting holes in them, which this one hasn't got yet. And they just keep getting. It's so easy to just throw them into the wash, the whitewash, rather than keep using paper. However, here's the thing that I noticed. How many of you are still using a disinfectant wipe, either in your car or in your house or whatever? They're a really good thing to buy in terms of value for money. I think I got all of this for next to nothing. It was like $2 or something ridiculous, and it had 75 sheets in it. So I bought 4. But think about that. But what I realized was they're so useful, in the bathroom, just to quickly wipe down the countertop or whatever, and it's disinfected if anybody wants to use the bathroom. It's really important from that perspective. But I got really upset with throwing these little things away. All right. And so then being me, I started to ask myself, what else could I use them for? Well, the first thing is obviously they've got to be washed. And what I found is the good quality ones wash beautifully. But what I do, okay, so here's one that I've washed. Okay, look at that. I keep a jar. All right, Jody uses Clorox wipes. Jody, I recommend keeping a jar in your bathroom and in your kitchen, wherever you use them, a jar like this. And I've got some Mr. Clean type stuff, disinfectant in here anyway. And when I use one, I drop it in here. And at the end of the day, I put the lid on, I shake it up, and then I rinse it out, and then I just put them flat. And by the time I get up in the morning, they're all dry and ready to use again. How many of you are going, that's so simple, why didn't I think of it? This is one of those blue towels, and I wanted to show you this because, these sort of go a bit slimy in water sometimes. But here's the truth, and I've done the experiment time and time again. This needs a bit of a shake. It's not perfectly clean, but, give it a good shake tonight. Let it dry. It's perfectly usable again, as I'm going to show you. Do I have one in here? Yeah. Oh, and then I reuse my tissue boxes to keep them contained. All right. So here's one that I used, washed, and now ready to reuse. All right. Save you not a huge amount of money, but for those of you who are, concerned about maybe in the fall, paper towels and things like that, think about getting smart now. The reason I bought 4 of these was that in a panic, you could also obviously rinse them out a bit first, but you could use these for in your bathroom as well. So think about that, and I hope that you save some money. So my go-to on big spills are my face cloths, and then these are just for little things, or if I want to dust something quickly. How many of you do that? I'm just going to go over the computer here quickly. And because it is this very nice material, all right, it just picks up stuff really easily. And all I'm going to do is just put it in there. Yeah, really. So difficult. All right, so let me now carry on with our scheme for today. I've had fun with this. I've been doing sort of what I love about doing these cooking things is that I sort of all week I play with what shall I do this week? I'm not sure. And then, as you know, with me, as the week progresses, ideas, I'm looking at stuff online and I'm thinking, no. And then I see something and I go, that would be fun. And you know me, I like things that are fun. So I'm hoping that you will enjoy it. Before we carry on, for those of you who are new, DearMamaSal is a group of people who get together 3 times a week. Lunchtime on Fridays, we talk about coping with feelings, and we had a really good discussion today about excuses. and how excuses get in the way of progress. And I love this quote that I saw this afternoon. It said, "You either make excuses or you make progress." And not only did we talk about our feelings about excuses, how does it make you feel when you make an excuse rather than do something? And how do you feel when you don't make the excuse? That's also part of the feeling process. But the thing that we then went on to discuss, and I really want to thank those of you who did that with me, we took a difficult subject like the Roe versus Wade decision coming up and talked both sides of that. And I really want to thank all of you who were in that discussion. Thank you for being polite to one another. Thank you for giving your honest answers. It's the way we all learn. And thank you for understanding that, who is right? It depends which side of the fence you sit. Am I right? And so it's really important that we don't get rude with people or, think they're stupid or whatever, because really it is just, I believe this and you believe that, and you have every right to believe what you believe. And I think where we get into trouble is when we think we are superior because of our decision or our what we believe, right? So it was a great debate, and I thank you so much. And it was so nice to be able to do it without people being rude or anything else, and just talk both sides of it. So that's good. I want to give thoughts and prayers for Beth. She's, as some of you may know, she's really not well at all. She's had a whole bank of very serious tests go down this week, so we will wait to hear from her. She did tell me she would update me. It's Bernice's anniversary today. Jody's little fluff ball, Taylor, turns 5 on Sunday. We got Manon's birthday on the 9th, and also Jeannie's daughter. And Beth and Charles celebrate their anniversary on the 10th. So that is great. All right, so let's go and see what we can cook up today. I'm really quite excited about this. How many of you like the idea that I reuse my Kleenex boxes for this sort of thing? Remember, edit things down, contain them, a lot easier. And some of you will have seen from previous broadcasts from way back when, I have a whole series of these. In each one of them, like I've got my computer mice, I painted them all the same color. And then put labels on them. I got old computer mice in some of them. I've got raffia, and also to any of you that are crafters, really good way to contain craft supplies. And because they're all roughly the same size, I just paint this, about 2 inches in top and bottom. And then you can just fit them in and they look perfect. All right. I have mine all gray, obviously. But they just look like they are really very organized. I try. One moment, people. We've got a serious problem. I need you to take a breath and just relax for a second. Maybe make sure you got a pen and paper because I'm going to give you a quiz in a minute. Because I've just realized I made the coffee and I didn't get it together so I can drink it. Hold on a second. Amazing how long it takes to get a coffee. We were talking today about what is important to us, and we will always do the things that are important, like get a coffee. All right, so here we go. The first thing we're going to do, this is the thing that actually got me started when I saw this. And what are we going to do? Is we're going to make apple pie tacos. How many of you are going, only Sal? And I saw this and I thought it was so clever. So the first thing you need to do I've already got these thawed, but what it says, and I've never tried this, so if I mess it up, just bear with me. It says you just bend, yeah, it works too. So you just bend the pastry shell. Yeah, you heard apple pie tacos, right? So you just bend the pastry shell, all right, till it looks like a taco. You see, both Isabel and Jody are reacting to the fact that it's a taco, and that's what I did when I read it. I went, "That sounds so interesting." So you understand that's a taco shape, right? They're really difficult to do. Okay, we're just going to take a thawed tart, pastry tart, bend it, and we've got a taco. I didn't think this was going to work. I'm so happy. All right, bend it, and we got a taco. I'm just proving that the first one wasn't a fluke. It actually is that easy. Don't jinx it now, Sal. I think I jinxed it on this one. I bent it a bit too much. Okay, bend it. Okay, and we got another taco. Now, what it said is at 375, do the math if you're in Canada, at 375 Fahrenheit for about 25 minutes. I'm going to do it in the air fryer because we know that cooks a lot faster. It's already warmed up to 375, so I'm going to do it for probably 15, maybe 10 minutes to check it. And then it'll probably take 15. But I found with that air fry, it cooks things so quickly, you have to be very careful. All right, so let's try. Everybody knows how to bend them now, right? Okay, so I've put them on for 10. Pray that that works. And in the meantime, while that's cooking, we're going to prepare the apple to go inside. So I like to cook my apples with the skin on the outside. Of course, the skin is on the outside, so with the skin intact. All right. I know some of you probably prefer to peel yours, but I think the extra fiber you get from the skin on the outside is a good idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get some lemon water ready so I can drop the apple in there. And I'm pretty sure you all know the reason we need lemon water is so that the apple doesn't go brown. We hope. All right, the citrus does it. So I'm just going to cut. And the tacos are very small, so we want pretty small bits of apple. Maybe a bit more. So about half an apple will do. Probably. Maybe we'll do all of it. I can use it for something else. Okay, now you've watched me cut my way around this apple. I'm now going to take out the top part where the stem is. Just by cutting through it to the stem, cut through it to the stem. And you now got that much extra apple. Waste not, want not, people. We're going to be very grateful for the fruit soon, because it's going to be very expensive. And question, what do we do with what's left on the apple if we're really looking to save money? And that would be keep it, blend it, use it in a smoothie. If necessary, if you've got a really strong blender, which I have, it'll make, just mush out of this in no time at all. And a very good thing to use. So I'm going to put this in the water here. And what I will do is keep it for my smoothie for later. Because, I've had my smoothie today for tomorrow. Okay. But I'm keeping it in the lemon water so it doesn't go all yucky. So now then we're going to make a little Okay, people, the edges, and that's what I thought, that air fryer cooks so quickly. I'm just going to cover them up, but let them keep on cooking because the edges are beginning to go brown already. Another little tip if you're using an air fryer, the circulation, the convection in there is very strong. So when I put even though it was very thick foil, folded many times, it started to move the foil around. So that's why I needed to just stop and put something to weight the foil down. I'm also going to turn it down. Yeah, I've turned it down, so it's only going to do another 3 minutes because, quite honestly, they're just about done. Good. Now, What we're going to do is to make a little bit of filling for the apple. And while we're doing that, I'm just going to cook this up in the microwave. I reckon 3 minutes would do it. Now, the recipe that I saw called for regular flour, but I am trying not to use regular flour if I don't have to. So this is a little bit of almond flour, which apple and almond is going to taste good. So I've got about a tablespoon in there. For those of you who want exact measurements, get the recipe. And you guys are very patient with me. We're going to need a little bit of cinnamon. Throw in some cinnamon. We like cinnamon. We're going to put in a little bit of nutmeg. Tastes good. I'm going to this is a mix of stevia and brown sugar. I'm going to put a little bit of that in. Please notice I keep that very high up. It's not easy to get to. I have to stretch. I work on the fact that it's using muscles when I get it. Right? All right, so we've got that, and a little bit more lemon juice. We just mix that up. And this is just really to give it a little bit of binding when we put it all together. I think I'll put a little bit more in. Doesn't need a lot. Now, some of you will probably cook apple and raisins together. That's fine. Yeah, just put in whatever you want. I just want to show you. How many of you going, the timer beep? Thank you very much, people. How many of you, part of what I thought was these would be really nice to cook up and take to a potluck, because who's ever had pie, apple pie, finger snacks, apple pie. I don't think I've seen that at a barbecue or something. Are they adorable or what? Now it says to let them cool for a while before you take them out. So we'll put them there and let them cool. I just want the air fryer to stay at the right. That's so cute. So you agree with me though? Isabel's saying if I make the barbecue, you're invited, right? I'd love to. So I just thought it would be such a nice thing to take to potluck or something, Just, I've never seen it before. So, and it's like a 2-bite dessert. Who doesn't want a 2-bite dessert? My kid is loving this. It's so cute. How many of you are going strawberries and cream? What other things? Peaches and raspberries would look really pretty in here, wouldn't they? How many of you throw these away? I don't. I wash them by hand. I wash them by hand because they don't do well in a dishwasher. They go funny. Wash them by hand, and then I scrunch them up and put them inside a sock. And when the sock is full, I put the sock into I tie a knot in the sock and put it in my dryer. I know, but it works. Lots of little things, right? Oh, needs a bit more. I don't know about you, but I think they should be on the softer side. This still had a little bit of crunch in it, so I'm going to just cook it for another couple of minutes. I don't know about you, but you know, that these are not going to make it past, this evening, right? And I will probably eat them before I eat intelligent stuff. Okay. Sorry, guys. Forgot to take my allergy pill. I'm normally so good about taking it on days that I do the broadcast. Hold on a sec. Face cloths are very useful towels as well. It's cherry season coming up, right? So cherries. How about orange and cherries together? Mm, like that. So now we're going to put the apple in with the mix that we've got here. Oh, I meant to put some cream in there. Forgot that. I'm going to put some whipping cream in there. Um, mm. And now the interesting thing that we know is once the apple is cooked, it doesn't go brown. I don't know why. Something to do with the chemistry of it all. You actually cook away the bit that goes brown. And I'm just going to put it in for another couple of minutes. Now, different ways to serve these, because we can already taste it, right? Would be maybe if you had it at a dinner party or something, is just to put a dollop of ice cream in the center. All right, and these on the outside, so you can sort of scoop the ice cream would be an idea. You know, whipping cream. I'm going to actually cover them with some caramel sauce. Yeah. And then I will test one because I'm not going through all this without enjoying it. All right. And the next thing we're going to do is to make a couple of baby quiche tarts. All right. So I'm going to do one breakfast type one and then one that you can have as a snack anytime during the day. The good news is that it's not nearly as bad for you as you think. So what do you think that how many calories do you think in one of these? Without anything in it, because obviously what you put in it. Take a quick guess. Jody did the maths for us. Thank you. Jody is reminding us that the heat, that's why I'm cooking it, causes permanent alteration to the structure of the enzymes of the apple, preventing it from turning brown. So I put it in lemon just to keep it, the right color. Once I've cooked it, I don't have to worry so much. Jody, it's very good. It's 90. So 360 calories right there. Do I care on a Friday? No. And what it said was to let this cool before you put it in. So I'm going to put it on a plate. I was going to say a flat plate, When have I seen an unflat plate? I'm going to put it on a plate to help it cool more quickly. We're nearly there. I'm so excited. Let's put that away into the fridge. For my smoothie. Okay. This is going to take a little while to cool, so I'm going to carry on and we'll plate this in a little bit. So excited. All right, so now we're going to make the quiche. Basically, a quiche is egg with. think egg with. All right. So what I'm going to do is crack open a couple of. How many of you, when you crack an egg, crack it on the edge of something? Don't do that. That's what causes the shell to go inside when you do that. All right. So, and I know you like to see me do this. I'm going to attempt to do this with one hand. All right. So all I'm going to do is cut the egg. I love doing that. Please notice it is a whole egg. Okay, crack the egg, pull it apart. I don't want to boast. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So do you understand? If you crack it against an edge, it will push the shell inside. If you crack it flat, it just cracks the egg. And then you just pull it apart like that. 2 whole eggs. I am so proud of myself. I shouldn't be proud, right? Pride comes before. Oh, yeah, never mind. All right, so now then we'll put a little bit of cream in there. Good. And we're going to put these on top. This one I'm going to do red pepper and bacon and cheese. And I'm just going to let the thing cut that up for me. And we'll put some bacon in there. I've pre-cooked the bacon. I'll add some bits on top. All right, so this is really very, very easy. Jody, please remind me when I go back to the tacos, I just need to put some cinnamon inside the shells before I put the mixture in, even though I've got cinnamon in there already. All right, so now then. And it's not your fault if I forget. I'm just asking you, can you try and remind me? But it's not your responsibility, it's mine. All right, so here we go. Oh. Pretty simple. Breakfast. I'm going to put in a little bit of dehydrated celery that I've dehydrated, because I think that sounds like fun to me. Obviously, we're going to need more bacon because everything's better with bacon. So let's chop that up a little bit. Black pepper. Okay. And then what I've got here is one cheese slice, and I'm just going to cut it in quarters now. All right, so there we go. I'm going to put. Anybody hungry yet? Want to come over for breakfast? And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put it in there for 10 minutes, see how it's doing. If you do it in a regular oven, probably take half an hour. Okay. How quick was that? So now we've got apple pie and we've got breakfast. So now we're going to do the other one. Now I've only got this much egg left, so I think we're going to add another egg. I wasn't quite sure how many eggs it would take. So this is more of a pizza type bite. I'm thinking teenagers again. For those of you who've got teenagers. And I just want to turn that apple over. Gonna be good. Okay. Egg. And remember that I've still got stuff inside here, right? What did I have? Red pepper, bacon. So I'm still going to have a bit of egg left over. So I'll make an extra one later. This time I'm going to put in, this is my fridge dried chives. You know, I keep my own chives. This lasts me a full season. Just one bunch will last me a full season. I've already cut them down once and just put chopped them up and left them in the fridge just like this. And they will dry in the fridge. It's amazing. And now already the second batch is growing this much. This, I started this one on April the 21st. So we'll see how long it lasts. The other one lasted the whole of the winter. From January the 25th all the way through. I bought a new one last week. And quite honestly, I end up with too much and I give them away. So I'm going to put some chives in. There we go. Yep. I know you're going to laugh at me. When I use a toothpick to test things and stir things, I just drop it in water and wash it and use it again. Just keep a little stock of them like this. Are you asking what is the base here, Jeannie? It is a tart shell. Okay. Or are you asking what is below the chives? Jody will help me there, I'm sure, by letting you know. Okay, I thought we put some tomato in. Yeah, more in there. All right. We've got black pepper. We've got to put bacon on it, right? Jody, can you remind me to do the quiz before too much longer? When I put these in to cook, would be good. What bacon? Now, some of you might want to put a drop or two of hot sauce on top of that. I'm going to show the tacos in a second, Jeannie, so you can see them, because that's the bit we're going to do again just now. All right, so these are ready to go. Any other spice we should put in there, people? Got black pepper, got tomato, cheese, bacon, chives. By the way, Isabel, who is she? Here we go. Bear with me. I think it's probably got enough. What do you think? Something tells me a tad of paprika or something. What would go well over the cheese? Yeah, I think paprika would go well. Just give it a bit of a kick, right? Oh, a lot of kick on that one. Please forgive me. I've got an allergy to a medication I'm taking, and every now and then it catches up with me. And this could go on for a little while, but we're not going to stop. What kind of cheese did I use? Whatever I've got. I used marble on this one. Just one cheese slice did 4. Okay, now I got to tell you something. You can't see what I can see. I had a look in there. You're going to love this. Let me get these out of the way. What did I tell you? That we would check them after 10 minutes? Let me hold this because it's hot. Look at these. Yeah, these have got mozzarella and cheddar. Same. Don't they look great? Now, how many of you can see that you could cook up a batch of these, all right, and take them to a potluck? They puffed up beautifully. They're cooked, you know, they're jumping out of the shells, so we know that the shell itself is cooked. Wasn't that exciting? Oh, let's get these in. Wait. Get those out. These out. Now they've dropped back down again, like a souffle. Here. So what my guess that it would take about 10 minutes in the air fryer was spot on. So imagine a whole plate, you know, a whole lot of these, right? You can make them look really pretty. And that's just a little bit of celery leaf on top there. Um, all right. They look really good. Happy with those too. Ah, sorry, people. So far so good. And I think that the apple is probably nearly ready to go. We'll check it. Don't throw them away. Let's go. No, wrong place. Cinnamon for the apple. Right. And we need butter as well. Thank you, Gertie. So what it recommended was just take a little bit of butter, and here's the little taco shell we made, and we just put that inside. Little painting moment, you know I like that. There they are. And then just a dab of cinnamon inside. Okay, and now I'm going to spoon in the apple mix. Obviously, try not to press too hard because you don't want to break that shell, but press hard enough that you can get enough in there. And I like the fact that we've still got that color, all right, in the red. Oh, my nose is just streaming. Okay. Now, I'm just thinking for aesthetic purposes, just a tad of icing sugar over the top of there. Now, obviously, you could put cream on there. You could put, as I said, you could put, ice cream in the middle if you're having a dinner party. All right, but let me just get a little bit of icing sugar. I think I got something. Remember, if it's bad for me, it's high up, so I have to stretch to get it. I like that. Obviously, my creative side. So, quite honestly, with the cinnamon and the icing sugar looks really pretty. But my treat. Oops, this is a new one. Come on, get to this. important stuff. There we go. Anybody want to come over and try one of those? All right, sleep well, Jeannie. Good to see you. Another minute. I'm so sorry for the the allergies. All right, so here we go. Let's look at this. In 1 hour and a little bit, we have cooked. We could have cooked way more of these without very much more work. I'm certain you can see that. All right, and we've got apple left over, which is awesome. Okay, guys, what did I do with the bit? I put it on the floor. Yeah, I'm going to do the quiz. Thank you. Keep reminding me, though. This. There we go. Pretty, huh? The other thing I'd like to mention is very little cleanup. You know, there's no mess in my oven, which is good. I'm just going to put these here to cool for a little bit before I take them out. You know, there's nothing on here, so that's clean. And my question is, you know, if you had somebody in the household who likes to snack and you had a few of these, you know, in a airtight container and said, hey, anytime you want one, just grab one. You know that it's protein mostly and vegetable. And can you use leftover vegetables? Absolutely. You can put anything you like in there. I was thinking, you know, for those of you who like crab meat, that would be really nice in there. For those of you who like salmon, a bit of leftover salmon in them, you know, would make a nice breakfast quiche. All right. So, and I would keep them bagged in such a way that people know the different tastes because everybody likes different ones. But I think you'll agree, not difficult to make. And yet, they look so pretty. And my attitude would be, you know, you need to get a savory one before you get the apple pie. All right, now remembering that the actual tart shell is only 90 calories. So, you know, that's a nice little snack. You know, with the protein and the vegetable, nothing wrong with that. Okay. Are you ready for the quiz, people? I did some interesting research this week that I thought I would share with you while this is cooling. In order of which has the most calories, you've got 4 choices, all right? And we're going to start with the upper level, which is white bread, brown bread, multigrain, raisin. In number 1 is the one with the most calories. No, let's go. Number 1 would be the first choice because it's all about choices. Which one do you think would be your first choice in terms of the least calories? Would it be white bread, brown bread, multigrain, or raisin? Right? It's just like yum, yeah. So put them 1 to 4. 1 being the least calories. And then when you've done that, here's the second part of the quiz. What about between naan bread? How many of you like naan bread, the Indian bread? A bun, a decent sized bun, or one of the tarts. Now we cheated because we do know that the tart is 90. So we can put that in immediately. Now the question is, do you think that a piece of naan bread, yeah, I love naan bread as well, is more than that, or what about a bun? Now I didn't say whole wheat or multigrain or whatever, just, whatever. But I thought it was an interesting thing. And what I did is I printed out a list of all the different all the different breads and things. So here we go. Isabel, all right, she's saying that she would have multigrain first, then white, then brown, then raisin. So as far as you're concerned, raisin would have the most calories, brown would have the second most, white. Yeah, how many of you thought that brown bread would have less calories than white? All right, or multigrain. By the way, not a bad guess, but you're wrong. I think you're wrong. But keep guessing. All right, so here's what I found out. Anybody else want to have a guess? Thank you for participating, I really appreciate that. I would have thought multigrain. Yeah, did you say? Yeah, I would have thought multigrain, brown, white, raisin. All right. And again, it didn't say what the base of the raisin bread was, but I'm presuming it's white bread. So here you go. Are you ready for this? I'm going to tell you and write it in if I can be that dexterous. First of all, whole wheat bread. That's the brown bread, all right? That's 67 calories. Okay. Multigrain. I've got it here, so hold on. 69. Interesting, multigrain has more calories in it than whole wheat. All right, and then white bread. 67 as well. Surprising. Raisin. What's your guess? How many calories in raisin bread? And quite honestly, this surprised me because it was only 88, and I would have thought it would have been way more than, yeah, Jody's saying 110. 88, Jody. So occasionally to have a piece of, yeah, Isabel said 80, so you're pretty good in there. So what we have is the least calories was white bread. How many of you are surprised? But I'm not sure if it is true if we're talking by the time we got the fiber and everything. So brown bread is about the same, but we know it's got extra fiber in it, therefore it's better for us. All right. And multigrain, although it's got more calories, again, got way more good stuff in it. Therefore, yeah, mind you, it depends what else you put in there. But I thought it interesting that raisin bread was only 88. It's like, yeah, I'm going to make some more of that. All right, so now then, here we go. This is very interesting. We know a regular bun came in at 120. You're probably not surprised. So a tart versus a bun, go for the tart. All right, want to have a guess? If you haven't cheated it already, have a guess on naan bread. This one blew me away. I just want to double check it so I get it right. You ready for this? 440. Jody, that made me ask the question, and I haven't had time to research it. What the heck? Yeah, I said the same. So what has naan bread got in it that would push it up that high? Now, you all know that I make a big pita every other day and cut it in half. All right, and this is half a pita. And then I fill it up with lettuce and cheese, and that's my lunch every day. All right, so, and that's multigrain, and it's worked really well. It's all part of, how did I lose the weight? The other thing I do is once a week I make up the bread dough for it. It's multigrain, as you can probably see. You can see the flaxseed in there. You probably can't see the chia. I've got whole wheat bread, whole wheat flour, white flour, chia seeds, flax seeds, milk powder. All right. Yeah, it's interesting. Naan bread is considered a pastry. Okay. But I don't know about you, Jody, but that blew me away. Like 440 for that. Did you learn something today, people? Other than how to make apple tacos, apple pie tacos. But you see, what I do is I make it once a week, and then I divide it into, I weigh it into little bits like this. And then I just, every morning that I want bread, I just pull out portion control. This is my portion. I roll it out, but, make a pita out of it, cut the pita in half, 2 more pitas done. That's how I've been doing it. So, remembering I cooked these in an air fryer, and that's why they only took 10 minutes. If you did it in a regular oven, it would probably take 25 minutes to cook these up. Just be aware. And there we go. Now, again, if you took a whole, tray of they're like this, I'm going probably sprinkle a little bit of something over the top of that. Maybe more black pepper. Let's see if that looks good. And I keep saying black pepper, but I'm wrong. I have white, black, and red pepper all in together. That looks pretty. And I'd probably put a little bit of mint, just a mint leaf in each one, or a parsley leaf, maybe, right? Just to make it look even prettier. And then what about red pepper in between would look nice, or yellow peppers, maybe one of each, think the rainbow. But what do we know? It's pretty darn healthy inside, and the shell only is 90 calories. So I quite honestly, I would probably find 2 of that enough. And if 2 of these are enough, that's 1 meal, 2 meals, 3, 4 meals there, and 4 desserts. No, that's not going to make 4 desserts, is it, people? You and I both know those apple pies are not going to last very long. So, did you find the quiz interesting to do? Because I would like to keep making sure we understand that the things we think are not too, things we think are bad for us. A pastry shell I thought would be way more than 90 calories. All right. So now I know, and is it great portion control? All right. If I ate the whole plate of these, it would be 360 calories. So, but it's got egg in it and vegetables and cheese, protein, it's got all sorts of things in it. And that's not as weird a meal as it looks. And especially if I have, some pepper strips with it, or maybe some celery or something, it would make a very substantial meal for me. Again, what if there were a couple of plates of this on your kitchen counter? Do you think that your small people would just grab one? So what I'm looking for is use of leftovers. Remember, that's what I do on a Friday. I use leftovers in a simple way that will make food that everybody can eat. Make sense? Now, there's one thing I didn't do. And I want you to think about it, which is, let's say that you're going, but I can't eat pastry at all. I am so diabetic, I can't even eat pastry. What I would recommend then is maybe instead of doing the pastry like this, what if you did a piece of ham, the round ham slices, put them in a muffin tin, and then put the quiche inside that. Strips of ham, a strip of ham. Or a chicken breast strip, all right, and then put the quiche inside that. So then you haven't got the carbs for the pastry. And I'm thinking for those of you who are strongly diabetic, I luckily can get away with some things like this quite easily. So this works for me. I hope you've enjoyed it. What was your favorite? And do you want me to test anything? If so, which? Of all that we cooked, we're going to call them mayo, celery, or apple pie. Oh, you want me to test the mayo? Okay, here we go. And I will probably have that anyway. I hope it's not too hot. No. Oh. Very nice. So I thought, I had tomato in this one, right? And the tomato is just done nicely. It's not overcooked. It still is. You can taste it. And sorry, people. Yeah, nice. I like that. But there's something about the pastry that really adds to the taste. I don't know why. So for me, this is a 4-bite meal. I think we agreed. No dessert until you've had a savory one, right? Oh, wait. Wait. Did you see what my body language was? You see, my mind is ahead of me. My mind went, come on. Thank you. Does that look even better? I mean, seriously. Apple pie and cream. Mm, and caramel. I forgot the caramel. Mm. Well, I don't have to tell you. And by the way, it's just still a little bit of crunch to the apple, not much. So these are not the mini shells, Isabel. Right? These are the regular ones, about 2 inches across. The mini ones are about 1 inch across. And I suggest that these you can actually have some, decent filling in it. Will I be able to eat another savory one? Yeah, I need to do that, right? Can't have another dessert until I've had another savory one. mm. Question. I didn't mention how it tasted. Did you get the idea anyway? So in an hour and a half, we cooked a dozen and completely different. And I thoroughly, thoroughly recommend them. I'm so glad I did that. Now, again, I have to remind you that each time I do one of these things, I'm not pre-cooking them to test them first. I'm doing them live because I want to know, did it smell while cooking? Nope. The bacon smelled. I did pre-cook the bacon, I must admit, right? I did do that because I didn't want the house to be all full of bacon this evening. So I did that earlier in the day and opened the house up to get rid of some of the bacon smell. That was the only thing. And, I freeze my bacon in 2 bits at a time. And sometimes I cook the whole lot. I probably will start doing that now that I can go outside and use my barbecue. So no, they didn't smell a whole lot. Probably, mind you, probably the bacon smell was still enough in the house that I wouldn't have smelt anything else. But much easier to do than I thought. And I wasn't sure that I liked quiche. And that's why I haven't ever done one for you. But I'm thinking, that is really nice. How many of you, if you've got a family, what if you did a big one? Like a pie. And, if you haven't had quiche for a while, consider it. But I like the idea of being sort of like finger food. I think that our lives are so busy these days that, to have maybe some fruit out on the kitchen counter, and some of these in a sealed container and going, hey, these are freebies. You don't have to wait for dinner. I think a lot of young people would eat them happily, and take a piece of fruit to go with it. So there you go. Any of you try it out? Let me know how it is. Think about all the variations you could do with this. And so at least maybe once a month, consider doing it. Cheap to do, uses up good leftovers, and is on the whole not too unhealthy. All right, let's put it that way. However, I'm really upset about the naan bread. I cannot tell you about that. I love naan bread. This is Dear Mama Sal saying thank you so much for being here with me. I'm off to go and fill my face, and then I've got a whole week to get it under control again. that's what that's what I do on Friday nights. I enjoy whatever we cooked, and then I've got the rest of the week to behave myself and get my weight back under control. Jody, thanks for being there doing the research for us. I hope you enjoyed the quiz, and if so, I will do more of those. And I think it's all about learning, right? And how many of you agree that this is a nice bit of portion control? I think anybody can see that 2 of those is not overkill. And what if you had 2 of those with a salad? That would be very healthy. But it's a nice lunch or a nice snack in the early evening if you feel like one. If you suddenly get a craving for something sweet, recommend one of these before the apple pie. But do enjoy the apple pie. Apple pie tacos with caramel and cream. I mean, what's not to love? This is Dear Mama Sal saying, I enjoyed this big time. Mind you, I've enjoyed most of them. Bye-bye for now. Thanks, Jody.